All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you're having a really great day. We got Comic Book Radio here tonight. I'm your host, Peter Cimetti. Man, I gotta tell you, before we got started with the show, there's a little weirdness going on today. I'll leave it at that. All right, we're a little bit late, and that's why. But I appreciate you guys being here with me. My guest tonight is Justin Belmont of Belmont Press. Let's get that little banner up here for him. There we are. This is episode 37. Let's say hello to those in the chat before we bring on Justin. We got Jaded One here. What's up, Jaded One? And Justin's also in the chat too. Look at that. Randy, what's up, Randy? Thank you for joining us tonight. We got Mighty Joe here too. Says hail Pete, Justin, and the incredible chat. I agree. All right, so before we get started any further than that, I just want to give a quick shout out to the King Cryptid campaign. Thank you guys so much for backing that. We got issues number 5 to 9 right up on Indiegogo and Alternus site. Thank you for checking that out. Links, as always, are in the description of the show. Without further ado, let's bring on Mr. Justin Belmont.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Justin? Thank you for joining me tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right.
It's my third time with you, I think.
Yeah. You've been on, open mic shows, right?
Yeah, you stumped me once, I remember.
Oh, yeah? What happened?
I think you asked me like a question. It was, what if a major publisher wanted to, take your comic and put it under their label? And I don't remember what I said, but I was tripping all over my words. I was kind of nervous, and I fucked up, so.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you know tonight, as I am prone to let some guests know. We try to minimize the language a little bit on the show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you got one. That was it. It's a hell of a way to use it, right? But hey, I mean, you gotta use it at least. You get to use it once. So there you go.
Oh, I didn't know you only get one.
Yeah, we try to keep it relatively family friendly. You get one F-bomb.
Okay.
When Billy Tucci was on here, he used 2 or 3, and I was like, Billy.
Well, I'm from New York, so you gotta give me a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I get it. I'm from New York too. I'm not there now, but I'm from. So I get it. Hey, what's up, Eric and Beam Pad as well, Johnny Slaction. And then also Black Hat Cinephile, what's up? All right, let's see. Eric says, my grandma watches this show.
Uh-oh.
Eric's grandma doesn't watch the show. Or does she? Either way, we do sometimes have not grandmas and grandpas, although I guess we do. But we do sometimes have kids watch the show with their family sometime. It's interesting. All right, so Justin Belmont. I'm hoping I don't stump you tonight. I'm hoping that you got answers for all the questions tonight. But if you don't, It's okay. It's okay. No big deal. I want to talk to you about thinking outside the box and making offbeat comics, because that's kind of what comes to mind when I think of Belmont Comics, when I think of Smokes the Fox and Weaponized Werewolf and the stuff that you guys are doing over there. I guess let's start in the beginning. What was the inspiration to come up with not just publishing your own comics, but making your own comics?
It started a long time ago, actually. When I was 15, I was collecting baseball cards. And I started noticing comic books, because I go to the comic book shop to buy the baseball cards. And early on, I just remember the covers, like Joe Jusko Punisher, back in like '87, I believe, that era. And then I just eventually bought my own comics. And then I discovered marijuana around the same time. So one day I was just sketching with my friend, and I drew a fox, and I put a pipe in his mouth. It was kind of like my version of Cerebus, but as a fox. That's why he's got the the one eye connecting.
Okay.
Eye.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my inspiration. Gerhard and Dave Sim I just thought it was cool how it was kind of cartoonish but realistic at the same time. How they walked that fine line, you know what I mean, with the heavily detailed backgrounds and the cross hatching that Gerhard did. I just really like that look and that artwork.
Mm.
That right there, and other independent comics that came out around that time. I remember back then, indie comics were exploding. Everybody had their own indie comic. You know what I mean? When Image was out, and you had Valiant, and then you had Dark Horse, all these independent publishers, as well as everybody put Madman, Cerebus, with some other ones like Bone, Concrete. There's some books that I used to read and collect.
Those some of your
Valiant
favorites,
fan.
your influences?
Yeah, big Valiant fan, especially early Valiant, not the new stuff.
Yeah.
Image, of course, for the artwork. The stories could have been better, but the artwork just pulled everybody in. So, Generation X, that's me. And everybody wanted to put out their own comic back then. I always wanted to put out one, and I didn't have any money. I was just a little kid, but it was always in the back of my mind. So, like, as the years went by, like every so many years, it'd pop up in my head. Why don't you do something with that character? Why don't you do something with that character? And then I pulled the trigger one day in 2018. I went to the Rocky Mountain Con, and Mike Barron goes there every year because he lives out here in Colorado. And I said, this year I'm gonna pitch my idea for my comic, for my pot smoking comic. And I didn't know how it was gonna go, you know what I mean, because of the subject matter and everything. And I told Mike I got this idea for a pot smoking fox, and he said, I'm in. And
Was it truly as simple as that?
It was that simple, and I didn't know if he was joking when he said it. And then it came out later on.
That seems a little too easy.
Yeah. Well, he said no capes, because like you were saying,
okay,
it's a different concept than what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people doing superhero stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that stuff, but I just think that's been done a lot. You know what I mean? It's been beaten to death. Latex and all that, and flying and
yeah, they kind of rip each other off. The main companies at this point. It's been so done to death.
So he just said, as long as there's no capes and superhero type stuff, he liked the idea, and I gave him like an outline of how I wanted the story to go. And like 2 or 3 weeks later, he gave me the script, and I just started working on it. And then the next person I contacted was Don Perlin, believe it or not, because I wanted to get a cool cover, something great for this book I was going to put out. My only shot I thought I was going to have, to get it out there for everybody to see my my dream book, I guess you can say. And I wanted to do the best I could. You know what I mean? I wanted to make Mike proud of me. You know what I mean? I wanted to do the best job I could do with the the budget that I had, and so I knocked on a lot of doors. It wasn't easy trying to sell a pot smoking fox. You know what I mean? To
so
a lot
so
of
the concept and the character is yours, and then you hired Mike to write it, and then you hired other people to draw it.
Yes, Gerhard actually helped me redesign the character from my original sketches from '93, and so after he redesigned the character, I had Don Perlin work on the cover. And he's a really cool guy. I was surprised. He came out of retirement to actually draw the cover.
Wow.
So
interesting.
I was stoked about that. I was a big fan of his with Bloodshot back in the Valiant days and all that stuff. Been, chatting with him on Facebook here and there. And
is he the first person you approached about that, or did you approach other people first?
I asked a few other artists as well, but he was on the top of my list. He was one of the first people that I think he was the first person that I contacted. But there were some others that turned me down. They weren't very interested in drawing a pot smoking fox. It's not.
Well, I mean, when you say that too, that's not the entirety of the book, is it? It's not.
No. So people might think it's like this, Beavis and Butthead type deal where there's no plot or anything like that. It's actually a very deep story, and there's 2 comics in my campaign, and both the stories go together. So Weaponized Werewolf is actually the prequel to Smokes the Fox. So when you read them both, you get a complete picture of the story. So it'll make sense when you read, and you can read them in any order as well. It wouldn't matter which one you read first. It just depends on how you want to do it. If you want to go from the beginning first or go back to the beginning.
So this is the campaign, correct? It's just on Fund My Comic right now?
It's on Fund My Comic, but I also have it on Kickstarter right now. I just threw it on
okay.
there for just to see if I can get a few backers to help me, raise some funds for issue 2.
Okay. So you're one backer away from 200, and I'm guessing the majority of the money raised here was, it looks like on Kickstarter. This is
Indiegogo.
$8,456. Oh, on Indiegogo first. Okay.
Yes.
How did it go for you on Kickstarter? Or how is it still going for you?
I was on Kickstarter once. I think I got like 750, just under 750, and now it's on there right now. It's at like 206. Just like, it's a few backers. I just threw it on there. I haven't really been promoting it much. Just seeing what the natural traffic will bring me in using that platform. But my main focus is on Fund My Comic right now.
All right, let's see here. So Smokes the Fox and Weaponized Werewolf. So Weaponized Werewolf is a number 0, and Smokes the Fox is a number 1. Now, you said that you would read Weaponized Werewolf first, and then you would read Smokes the Fox. Now, are they basically within the same series, the same universe? Is that correct?
You can read them either way. I would actually probably read Smokes first.
Okay.
But yes, you're going to see the same characters in both books. You're going to see a couple different characters even. But the stories takes place in, 15 years apart. So a little bit, a few years apart, but the same characters you'll see. That's him getting high for the first time right there.
Okay.
He stole some camper's stash.
Now, so why is he a humanoid? A humanoid fox?
Smokes is a hybrid. He's half human, and he's half fox, and he's only that way because of alien technology.
Okay.
Are you familiar with like the lore of Dulce Base on the New Mexico border? How there's supposedly like this floor called Nightmare Alley.
Nightmare Alley, right?
Yeah. Where they supposedly
and there was like a big like shootout that had occurred.
Oh yeah, you're talking about. I know what you're talking about when that guy had a shootout when the alien shot lasers at him and like messed up his hand.
And then he eventually had a very odd death.
Yeah, that was a very strange story.
Yeah.
But supposedly in Nightmare Hall, there's aliens doing experiments on humans. So I kind of got the lore. I used that lore for the book. So I want to tell you exactly how it's done, but it's mixing humans with the mutant fox. So it makes these hybrid mutant foxes. But Smokes wasn't what they wanted. They wanted like a super soldier type. So they made Weaponized Werewolf.
His personality's a bit different from that, or is it just his skill set in terms of his power and strength? And
he's just too scrawny. It's not really the type they're looking for, but he's super intelligent and he's able to escape the facility. And after he escapes the facility, they send Weaponized Werewolf to eliminate him.
Oh, so Weaponized Werewolf is essentially a villain type character.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's how the story starts. It's a fun adventure. I think you dig it if you read it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Going back a little bit, so I wanna touch base because it is a subject that is very fascinating to me and near and dear, and I'm sure the audience is gonna know where I'm going with this. But in terms of the paranormal, in terms of, you mentioned Dulce Base, which is what? That's Area 52, isn't that?
Yeah, they call it that.
Yeah. What about that worked itself way into your storytelling? Is that something you've always been interested in, or is that just a way to kind of create the story and ground it in a hook? Or was that something that Mike Barron put in there to begin with?
No, I grew up around UFO stuff. paranormal stuff. Used to watch Unsolved Mysteries, sightings, any UFO special that was on TV. Larry King, if he had a guest on about UFOs, Fire in the Sky. I was just always interested, in UFOs, aliens, all that stuff, Bigfoot. And originally the idea was Smokes was gonna be like just a regular fox, and he sniffs a pipe some teenagers throw, and it's still lit a little bit, and he sniffs it, and then something to do with the weed has some chemical in it that makes him transform slowly into this humanoid.
Like
And
it
I
was
thought,
laced with something.
yeah, that was kind of like my original idea, and I thought that was kind of like a rip off of Turtles too much, and it was kind of cheesy. So I just thought about it one night, and I was smoking, and I just came up with the idea. I was like, I'm gonna, I got a better idea for his origin. So I gave Mike an outline of what I wanted, how the story to go. They're in a base, he escapes. So I gave him an idea of how it was gonna go, and he just did the rest. Did the
Very
dialogue. But he created Weaponized Werewolf. I didn't have the idea to have the werewolf in the book.
Oh, okay. And is Weaponized Werewolf truly a werewolf in terms of that they're like basically a shapeshifter?
No, he's not a shapeshifter. He's just like
okay.
Smoke, so he's a hybrid. So he has a human mother and a wolf father, and alien DNA was used to make him as well.
Oh, okay.
So no howling at the moon or anything like that.
It's not like the full moon comes out and then that's what triggers the transformation.
No.
Okay. Huh. All
So
right.
he's a little bit different than everybody else's werewolf.
Interesting. So, do you have anything else that's going on in terms of these characters? Any other plans for the future with either of them?
Yeah, I'm making these, the muscle figures, those little 2-inch muscle men. I got these little figures that I'm making.
Yeah.
And this one's like
did you collect those when you were a kid, or is that something that
Yeah, I used to dig those muscle men. Used to have like garbage can full of them or something, like a canister full.
Yeah.
You can get a ring, but I don't think I ever had the ring. That was expensive. But I like those. Then I've seen a lot of comic creators now coming back out with those with their characters, little muscle men size. And I want to make them Keshi though, have them made out of all rubber. Right now they're just resin.
That's an expensive process too.
Yeah, it's very expensive. I don't really understand it.
Gotta get the mold made, and then you gotta get all that. Yeah. It's always more expensive that way. I know some people are they're still calling them, muscle figures in a way, but they're making them with 3D printing instead. That's probably a little more affordable, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's what I just showed you. That's a 3D print.
Yeah, that looks great.
Those take 8 hours to print, believe it or not.
Wow. Man.
8 hours. So.
And is that like how big is that? Is that like a 3-inch or 2 inches?
It's just under 2 inches, like 1.9 inches or something like that.
Okay.
And so I'm working on that right now, and Smokes 2 is in the works.
So 1 and Werewolf are both done. The 1 and the 0 are done. Okay.
Yes, the fulfillment has been done. I ship out every week. Right nice. Here is, here's order 199. It's got to go out soon, and I'm hoping to get 200 very soon. I'm trying to hit the the $10,000 milestone, but that would be like all platforms combined, not just in one place.
Yeah, let's see again. How close are you to that? So you're 1 away from 200, and then so you're 375 away from 10,000.
Yeah, then I have 200 on my other Kickstarter that's going if nobody backs out. So I'm under 200 away.
Oh wow, so you're more like 98.25 then, correct? You said like 200.
Just about $200, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So let me see here. All right. Yeah. So you've got your comic. You've got it's your publishing company, correct? Belmont
I did
Press.
Everything. Yep.
And do you have anyone helping you out or anything like that?
Yeah. Are you familiar with Kurt Hathaway?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Kurt Hathaway pretty much guided me through making these books. He told me, what I should be doing. Any question that I had, I would ask him. Basically, he told me, make sure the size is correct when the artist is drawing the panels and the pages, that you got the right measurements. So later on, you don't have to go in Photoshop or whatever and resize things.
Oh, so he's helping you
Or
out with formatting and things like that.
yeah, and then he did the editing, he did the lettering, he created the Smokes logo and the Weaponized Werewolf logo. Well, I gave him input, but yeah, he created it. And what else did he do? He also did the pre-press.
Hmm.
So he had his hand in my book a lot. Big part of it. Um,
Do you find that it's been helpful to you to work with so many other people? You've got a bunch of people on your creative team. You've got Kurt helping you out. Are they able to help you out and answer any of the questions you may be having? Because it seems like you guys are relatively new, right? How long have you been around for in terms of publishing comics?
I started creating Smokes in late 2018, beginning of 2019. I started production. Took about 3 years of development. I wanted to take my time, and a lot of it was just waiting on creators. You know what I mean? Not everybody has time to do your project. I had Rodney Ramos doing inks, and he was working on other projects, and sometimes you have to wait. It might be a month,
Yeah.
it might be 2 months, it might be 3 months. But if you want who you want as part of your creative team, it's worth the wait, I think. So I wanted to do it right, and I wanted to do it, nice and slow, because it's my first time, and I just wanted to do a really good job and give it a lot of love and attention. And I wanted to be almost done before I launched it. I don't want to worry about creating it while I'm marketing it and doing shows and stuff and promotion.
Yeah, yeah, because when you're doing this kind of thing and you're kind of the only person really doing it for the most part, if you're doing this, no one's doing anything else, so you got to promote. Well, production stops. You do production, promotion stops, and all that other kind of stuff. So yeah, it's the life of an indie publisher.
Yeah, and I've been doing all my own fulfillment as well.
Very nice. What aspect of it, of publishing, have you really enjoyed, and what aspect have you really hated?
I actually really enjoyed doing fulfillment, which I was very surprised because I was dreading it. But then it's seeing their names and stuff and people that I see in the chats and stuff put a smile on my face. These guys actually back my book, and I was surprised how many people wanted my autograph. You know what I mean? Because I gave everybody the option to have their book signed. Remember you did that post and you said make sure your signature is artistic. Put some artistry into your signature, and you wanted people to post their. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I made sure, and then I remember McFarlane. Remember McFarlane said when you sign your book, you should be able to read the signature. Put some pride in your signature. That comment that he made always stuck in my head. So when I signed every book, I made sure it said you can read that it says Belmont on it. And a lot of people wanted my autograph. I was very surprised at that. What did I dread? What didn't?
Even if you didn't
people
absolutely.
Listening. When you tell an artist something, they don't listen no matter what. I mean, you can give them a model sheet, and it will have everything on it, and then you'll get back and you'll get 5 fingers when Smokes has 4 fingers. You'll get the pipe is a completely different pipe, not the pipe that he smokes out of. He's got a bong or whatever they give him. His hair is not right. They draw him too realistic and don't draw him anything like the model sheet at all.
Or he looks like a dog or a wolf and not a fox.
Yeah, or he looks like maybe some kind of furry or something. I don't know. Or don't use the connecting eyes. Just the small details. So when I work with my artist, I'm always looking at everything like that. It's another thing you gotta look at and make sure everything looks good. They got the pockets, all the fine details are there.
Yeah. Yeah,
stuff
because
like
some
that.
artists are great with staying consistent and with maintaining how the character looks. It's still going to be their style, but they're nailing how the character at least looks. They're recognizable. And then there's other artists that it's just their 100% their own interpretation, and you got to rein them in as best as you possibly can. And I get you. Yeah, there's times where that could be pretty frustrating, and that's not just a publisher deal. That's more like maybe a writer creator deal. But yeah, when you're kind of dealing with a bunch of different artists, or even just one artist, and they want to kind of run with it how they want to draw the character, and I get it. I get where they're coming from, but you do have to maintain a consistent viewpoint.
Yeah, I want him to look a certain way. I don't want him to
Yeah.
look realistic. I didn't want him to look like that. My vision of the character is what I wanted, and it's just sometimes it's hard for the artist to get what you want, what you're
Yeah.
looking for. But once they get it, though, then they get better and stuff. So my artist Lee Oaks, now knows what I want, what I'm looking for, and so we're working pretty well together. He's in Colorado too, so I got my team is kind of local.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and Weaponized Werewolf, the artist that did that, believe it or not, he is my neighbor. I mean, 60 paces from me.
Wow.
I didn't know that either.
That's,
I didn't know that. I had to send him some sketch cards, and he gave me his address, and I was like, man, I could just walk that over. So that's how I found out. I knew he was in Colorado, but I didn't know he was.
You didn't know how close he was to you.
No,
until wow, that's crazy.
That is pretty crazy. So I guess.
Talk about small world.
Yeah, small world. I knew he lived in Colorado, but not next door to me.
Wow. That is that's quite the coincidence. To the point that I don't know that can be a coincidence. I wonder if he was scouting you out.
Oh, I went to him actually.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
He worked with Mike Barron before on Cue Ball. I don't know if you've seen that character.
Yeah.
Like a pool stick.
Yep.
He also draws this comic book called Billy the Kit. It's at stores. It's like this mutant rabbit western.
Okay.
Horror western.
You said Billy the Kit?
Yeah,
like
Kit.
K-I-T?
Yeah, K-I-T. It's at the comic shops. Blue Juice Comics. Are you familiar with them?
No, I can't say I am.
Oh, I think it's Kevin Smith's company, or it has something to do with it. Those guys from the Stash or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Oh, interesting. All right, so we're at the halfway point here. We're going to take a quick little break for about a minute or two. Justin, if you need to go get a drink, use the bathroom, whatever it may be, please feel free. Everybody in the chat, same to you guys as well. But still, stay with us. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Comic Book Radio. I'm your host, Peter Cimetti. Tonight, my guest is Justin Belmont of Belmont Press. We're going to be back in 1 to 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a little bit of some trailers to show you guys. Here we go. All right, welcome back to Comic Book Radio. My guest tonight is Justin Belmont. I'm putting the link in here for you guys in the chat. Here we go. If you do want to join the show, you got a question or a comment for Justin, please feel free. There's the link right there. All right, don't be shy. So we got about a half hour left on the show. Justin, let me see. How can I phrase this? You mentioned about you're making these characters. You're gonna have them continue, and you're gonna make more stories as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a timeline in mind in terms of your release schedule, what it looks like, and what you're planning to do with campaign and things like that?
Right now, Smokes 2 has started. I just gave my artist the script, so it's been edited, and so he's working on it. The first cover is done.
Okay.
Corey Barton did a cover for me. It's kind of like a cheesecake-ish cover. We're introducing a new character, kind of like my version of like April O'Neil, like how Turtles have her. You'll see, it's very interesting, and so production has begun.
Okay.
And I'm gonna probably just do like 4 or 5 issues, probably for like for Smokes, like a mini series type thing, and then maybe do another arc. Just want to right now. I just don't know how it's gonna go. You know what I mean? I don't know how the second issue is gonna go. So
do you have
I don't want to plan.
Is this a planned mini series or is this an ongoing?
Yeah, like a mini series.
Okay.
But I was gonna do kind of like Hellboy. You know how they have like multiple mini series?
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe even just do some more weaponized werewolf. And I have other ideas as well for other titles.
Within the same universe, or are you going outside of that?
Maybe one more title in the same universe, but I got stuff that would be outside of it. I got a friend that I used to, do comics with, draw and stuff with, who I really want to get into the comic book scene because he's a really good artist, but he kind of gave up on his talent, and I don't think he thought he had what it took, but he was a really good artist, and I think he can do well now in the indie community that we have. At least doing covers or pinups or something like that. So I'm trying to get him on board, maybe do something with him. That was our childhood dream, to do a comic book. It's completely different than Smokes. It's kind of like a team book, like an X-Men type book. But in the future, I don't know. Right now, I'm just working on Smokes. That's all I have the budget for, is to make Smokes. I don't really have the budget to make Weaponized Werewolf. But I do have another 12-page project that Hojo, I think he was on your show yesterday.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he wrote this 12-pager that I have, and I got an artist that said he would draw it for me. So I have that project lurking as well. I'm not ready to announce it yet because it's too early. It's being edited right now. But I'm trying to stay busy. I'm trying to put out quality stuff, in the indie world. Hoping that people will dig my stuff, back me, and I can continue to make more cool stuff.
Yeah, very nice, man. So obviously you talked about making the comic and coming up with all that stuff, but you touched upon it a little bit in terms of promotion and marketing and things like that. What have you been doing to promote and market your comic?
I do a show called The Man Cave, which is on my channel, YouTube, on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I'll actually promote other indie creators. And then I'll also promote my stuff as well, playing my trailer. So I kind of help them, and then we all help each other, so to speak. Oh, Clayton's here?
Yeah, there's Clayton in the chat.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get on with Clayton to do a show with him. We've had him on the Man Cave, him and his brother Corey. Yeah, I want to work with more CG creators this time around with Smokes 2. So I'm gonna. That's why I got Corey doing a cover. And I wanted to add a little bit of a sex appeal to Smokes. think it was missing that. You know what I mean? So adding the female character.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna be making Smokes sexier.
No, Smokes is not gonna be
I was
sexy.
like, how are you giving Smokes more sex appeal?
No.
Interesting. Okay, very nice, man. Um, do you find it easier to create the comic or to promote the comic?
I like both. I like doing both. Which one's easier? Well, I guess creating the comic's a little bit easier because I'm not drawing it or writing it. I'm just directing it, watching over it, making sure everything's going. But even doing that is a full-time job. And then you got to keep on everybody.
You're like
make
the
sure
project manager, right?
yeah, like a project manager. I got to make sure everybody's, if my penciler isn't penciling, then my inker won't get any pages, and everything shuts down. Nope, nothing goes any further. You know what I mean? I don't get any progress done. So right now, I'm just having my artist focus on 5 pages of the script, just 5. But I want them to knock it out of the park with these 5, and these are like 5 picked out pages from the script that are going to be like the preview pages on the campaign. I'm not sure how long I'm going to wait before I launch the campaign. I'm not sure if I'm going to wait till it's almost done to launch, or maybe like 50%. I'm not sure. It just gives me a lot of anxiety, if it's not completed and I launch a campaign, then I break a promise and I say it's going to be ready by April and it's July and it's not out. I don't know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't want to be late. So when
it kind of affords you the ability to be like the front man of the book in a way, right? Like when you're promoting, because you're not so deeply involved in the creative process, you're more of an overseer.
Yeah, but I'm doing a lot of input, and everything, and I'm kind of picky. So some people don't like that. A lot of people. But I like to give the artists their freedom.
Yeah.
I got to make sure. Like I was picky with Corey. He missed the pocket on Smoke, so I was like, pocket. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean. I want to make sure that it's right. I want to get everything, all the details correct.
Yeah, the attention to detail.
Yeah, especially on the main character.
It's nice.
So
nice.
He knocked it out of the park. I think you're gonna love his cover. We're not ready to reveal it yet. He's gonna be working on the flat stuff next, and then do the colors. So he's gonna do everything: the pencils, the inks, colors, everything. And he draws pretty good babes. Everybody knows that.
Let's see. Yeah, Clayton says you got to be picky with Corey sometimes. Well, I wouldn't classify that as being picky. I mean, you want to make sure that the details are there, and it helps with consistency.
But I don't like to, be nitpicky and make an artist mad or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm not about that. I just want the best quality image you can get. He's got his name on it, and I got my name on it. Is the way I look at it. I think that he should want to, artists that I work with should want to best product as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But like in the beginning, I had some problems with Don Perlin. He forgot to put some pockets in. So when Bob Layton went in there and did the inks, he told me to send him the model sheet, and he cleaned it up for me.
How many pockets does he have?
It just has a couple of pockets. Let you go up, you can see him. It's in the cover.
Let's see here.
That's as a hoodie he's wearing right there. But if you go right there, and you can see he's got a Vietnam top.
Yeah.
Like they wear in Platoon or whatever. Like the OD green, and it's got 2 pockets, one in the
So just one on each side, right?
Yeah, one on each side. And he just forgot the the pockets and some small details. So Bob went in there and just touched it up.
Very nice. Something I want to ask you about, because you have a very different situation on this book in terms of how you're creating it and managing it. What is, and you don't have to necessarily reveal it in detail or anything like that, or talk about contracts with your creative team, but is there creative ownership split among anybody, or is it a straight work for hire scenario?
I've just been doing work for hire on this first campaign, but this 12 pager that I have with Hojo, think might be something different, where I'm going to work out something with the artist, where he's going to get a portion of the campaign funds. So we haven't really worked out the fine details yet. So I'm up for that. I even had a publisher want to put Smokes 2 on their instead of me going solo, they wanted me to join their label.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm still thinking about that. I kind of like being solo though.
yeah, you can
You know what I
control
mean?
your branding and your vision a bit more.
Yeah, I don't want to worry about anybody bothering me or being someone being my boss or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm doing this, with love, and I want to just do it my way and how I want to do it. And if someone else is a part of it, then it's kind of like not me doing it by myself anymore. It's not me. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do it with a different project, and maybe I'll do something else. But Smokes is like, you know, my baby, so to speak. I don't want anybody to have any control of it but me, I think. But for something different, a different title, I think I would maybe, go with somebody else. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind. You know what I mean? It's just right now. I'm from the music industry.
Oh yeah.
A few albums for some groups, and I did all right there, but it was a lot of stress. And I came to comics because I thought there wasn't any stress. I was kind of wrong about that. So it's much different than I thought it was going to be. But I discovered the whole CG scene. I came across Ethan's stream once, and then I saw that he had his book Cyber Frog, and I was like, look at that! He put out his own book, and now we got platforms like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and we could just do our own thing. We don't need to bother an editor at Marvel or DC to beg them to publish your book. You can do it all on your own now. And I decided, I'm going to finally do that book that I wanted to do since I was 15. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got more tools at your disposal than ever before. In some ways, again, I don't know what the nitty gritty details are of specifics, but the overall across the board, I think that nowadays it's the best time to go independent.
Yeah.
So and across whatever entertainment field, especially, you're really thinking about. Even when I see things like the strikes going on with Hollywood, the writers and now the actors and SAG, and all I could think is, why bother going on strike at this point? Why don't you guys talk more about forming your own production companies and studios and get out of the studio system, instead of trying to say to the people in the studios, do this, do that, do the other thing, and then we'll be happy, and then we'll work with you again. Don't sit there and scream at them about ways in which they should treat you better. Especially in this day and age, it's a bit different with what's going on. You're better off going, how can we effectively plan something so we can be the people that create and put the stuff out there? Because there's so many ways to do it. There's so many people that know what to do. And then there's so many tools at your disposal to get out there and put your product out there in front of people. You don't need to rely upon a big distribution company, a big studio, a big publishing house, whatever it may be. You could just go out there and do it and put it in front of people still.
Yeah, just do it all yourself. I'm even making my own trailers now. Started doing that. I mean, they're not the greatest, but started doing a little bit of video editing. I never dreamed about being on like a program like this or in front of people talking about my book. When I first got on camera, I wore like a mask or whatever, like a handkerchief over my face. I don't know. And then it just took a while for I'm ready to do this kind of stuff.
Were you not comfortable with it? Is that what it is? Are you shy about it?
Yeah, I'm kind of a shy person actually, but I've kind of opened up since doing. Man, I've done so many of these shows now. Like I think I'm pushing like 100 shows that I've done to promote my book. So I'm used to it now, but I never thought I would do it. But I see that the only way you can really get the word out on your book is to have a face with your product. You
And
sell your book, you sell your product, your face.
and that's kind of been the way that it's always been. You know, even in comics, people point to someone like Stan Lee, and you know, maybe they have a misconception about what he was out there trying to do, but there's a reason you knew Marvel and Stan Lee and those books, and you know, he would give credit in the books to the artists and everything too that he was working with. Everybody that was one of the things with Stan. He was one of the first editors to go out there and say everybody that works on this book gets credit in the book. You know, so as many people want to put Stan Lee down or throw him under the bus about various different things, which a lot of them are choosing to do nowadays where he's not around to defend it anymore. If it wasn't for Stan Lee going out there and being a cheerleader for the books that they were doing, who knows if you'd even know what a comic book is right now. I know there's a bunch of people I know in my life who aren't a part of the industry, but they wouldn't know what the hell a comic book was. You know, my parents directly, they wouldn't really know what a comic book was if it wasn't for Stan Lee. But, you know, they thought that because he was out there talking about comics and almost no one else was within DC or Valiant or Dark Horse or wherever, they thought that he created all of comics. That it was like all of these other companies were umbrellas under Marvel. You know, and it's like anybody else could have gone out there and did exactly what he did. Talk about your books and talk about, you know, and be excited about them and get in front of people. So this is a part of, it should be a part of making comics and doing that. We're entertainers, we're storytellers. You got to get out there, you know, and this is kind of like, remember public access television?
Yeah, yeah.
It's still sort of around here and there, but this is kind of like public access television. This is like UHF. You know, everybody's got their channels and everybody can go out there, and it's the ultimate equalizer. You know, so it's another skill set that you got to learn and adapt and use, and you grow and you get better at it the more you do it.
Yeah, I still stumble here and there, regret what I say sometimes, watch the replay. Why did I say that? You know, stuff like that. But I'm used to now jumping in front of a camera and talking about my project. Just the more you do it, I guess, the more easier it gets, I guess you can say.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you find that is an aspect where you, not that you're struggling, but that you find that you are really making an effort to grow and get better at? Like you put a concerted effort into making sure that, all right, you know, I'm going to get out there and do this. I'm going to do that video today. I'm going to talk about this today.
Yeah, I like to watch the replay, see what I did wrong, try to do better, make sure my volume on my mic sounds good, like you were doing earlier. I want to make sure the show is quality. I like to prepare for the shows before we do it. Next week we got Bancroft coming on, big guest.
Great.
So we're preparing for that. But I like to have smaller creators on as well. We just had Fusebox on and Timothy Olsen. He does this book called Melvin. So I like to help little creators, you know, bigger creators, whoever wants to come on the show. I'll promote you. I hope you guys promote me. You know, I'll give me a retweet once in a while. If you guys can't back my book, invite me to your show. Whatever, you know, retweet me. Just that's all you got to do. You know what I mean? You don't have to throw down money on. I don't think on a creator. You can also just promote them if you don't have the. I know everybody can't afford to back everybody. So many books out now.
Yeah.
There's a lot to choose from. You know what I mean? Everybody's going after the same backers, and you know there's a lot of good stuff out there. So I understand that. You know.
There's only so much. I mean, I get where there is only so much money among a certain backer pool, but that's why it's so important to do things like grow your platform, grow your brand, get out there, promote. You'll get new people the more you do that. But more than anything else, time as well. You know, time is finite as far as we're concerned right now. So you only have so much time in the day to read so many books. I mean, there's stuff that I have that's like. You know, I got it, and it's sitting there for like a year.
Yeah, so you got a stack of books you're still waiting to read.
Yeah, yeah. And God bless the people out there that are like they get done with everything, and they're like, "Where's the next one? Where's the next one?" I love the enthusiasm, but I'm just like, "Wow, man, I wish I had that problem in a way, of really looking forward to the next one because I just got done with all the stuff. I got no backlog in getting to the books I got to get to, but it's great to see. I do want to say one thing though. This is outside of the topic of the show. Uh, is it just me or is it darker right now where you are?
Oh, I'm in my room and
It looked like the
the
light.
sun's coming down. I have like a big open window and the sun's starting to go down. So
Oh,
it's getting a little
wow.
dark.
So I thought that the room was nicely lit when we had started, and now all of a sudden it looks like you're in darkness. I didn't know if you had one of those kind of like sensor lights or if it was on a
No,
timer.
no, it's just nature.
Wow. You got like a skylight, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's kind of like well, it's not on the roof though. It's on the wall, but it's
Oh,
kind of like
okay.
a skylight on the side, whatever you want to call that. It's like a window without blinds,
Very
but it's
nice.
higher by the ceiling.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
So
I didn't know if I was seeing something. I was like, it looks like it's darker there. All right, so we're winding down on this show here. Let's take a look at the campaign. We got Smokes the Fox, number 1, a weaponized werewolf, number 0. This is Second Chance campaign here on Fund My Comic. I'm going to put the link in the chat, although it is in the description of the show. So if you guys want to check it out.
looking for backer number 200,
Backer 200, wow.
milestone backer. I'll probably throw something extra in there for you. So that's what I'm looking for.
All right, so it's got 199 backers. It's raised 9,625, but you said that about 200 or so should be coming in through Kickstarter. Is that correct?
Yeah, assuming people don't back out. That kind of happens on Kickstarter. That's
Yeah,
one of the
it
things I don't
does.
like.
I was talking to Hojo about that yesterday. Man, it's
So
very
weird,
annoying.
yeah. It's very strange. Or people like hold like the big tier, like a piece of artwork for the majority
Yeah.
of the, and then at the last minute they'll decide they don't want that and they'll switch it to the $20 tier or whatever, and then now no one has time to to back that bigger item, and you might not get a backer.
Yeah, it's very strange how that happens on Kickstarter. I don't know if it's just the platform itself that lures a specific kind of backer, but I've never noticed that sort of a problem being so prevalent on Indiegogo or anywhere else, just Kickstarter. But either way, it looks like you've raised 8,456, so $8,456 across other platforms. You've raised about a little over $1,000 through Fund My Comic, which is great. How has your experience been on there on Fund My Comic?
I like it. You get to put multiple images for your tiers. You'll see. So I got
Oh
the
yeah, I
stickers
see that.
underneath.
That's
It
great.
makes it a lot easier. Other way, like on Indiegogo, you'd have to make one image and you have
Cram
to
it all
make a
in there.
collage and put them all
Yeah.
together all in one image. It takes a lot of time to do that too, and you got to make them small, so it's tiny. So it gives you a little bit more room, a little bit more freedom on your tiers. I did a lot of copy and pasting from my Indiegogo campaign for the for the text, but everything worked pretty well. You could pick what time it launches, so you don't have to press the button. Like on Indiegogo, you got to press the button
that's good
to
too.
launch it.
Yeah.
So once it's approved, you know when it's going to go live. There's no thinking about you press that button and you forgot your bank account number was off by 1 digit or whatever. Something's wrong. You forgot to fill out something, and it's not launching at that minute. So that's another cool feature. And I think they just added the shopping cart feature to this.
Yeah. You can adjust the quantity and things like that too.
Yeah, and they got the same stuff. CSV file, Stripe is the processor. It's all the same stuff. I think the backers get 6 days to do an automatic refund, and Indiegogo it's 10 days. That's kind of
Yeah.
a long time, 10 days. So you have to hold off on sending the orders out because you know what I mean. You want to wait those 10 days.
Yep.
I don't like that, but I guess you got to give a little bit of leeway. But 10 days seems a long time. Those are the printed ones right there, so you can see what they look like printed. my stash is dwindling. I think I made 750 copies total for all the different, the variants between the both issues. So I'm dwindling right now. I'm probably at 100 and something copies total of all of them left, or something like that. 150.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah. I want to make it kind of rare and collectible item. That's Jay Lee sketch right there. I had him do smokes.
That's awesome. Would you see him at a show?
Yeah. I've been getting sketches from Jay Lee since the '90s, and I want to say I was his best friend, but he knows me. So when I see him at the show, I just saw him at Denver Con a couple weeks back, and he did the weaponized werewolf below this for me at the other show. So if you scroll down, you can see the other one as well. Yeah,
Very
he did
nice.
this one for me a couple weeks ago. Not for sale. I just wanted to, show off.
Just show them off, yeah.
Yeah, like if you got
great.
a sketch. So Jay's cool like that. He won't let me publish it or anything like that, but
oh yeah.
But I can show it off on my campaign page. You don't mind.
Very cool. Hey, that's
cosplay.
Pretty cool. Oh yeah, Shay did that. Nice.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to expect, and it came out great.
That really is great. Wow.
Yeah, it's great. Look at that.
She's something with coming up with those costumes, especially with a lot of short notice for the most part.
Oh yeah, I think she did it in like a night or something. She said.
Wow.
The shape of the head is perfect. She got the shape right, and it doesn't look like a furry either.
Yeah.
No fur on it. It's just like painted or whatever. It's not. I don't know what kind of material, but it's not fur on there. There's no
That's
fur
great.
or like fabric or anything like that.
It looks like I can't even begin to guess what it is. It looks almost like molded cardboard and painted.
Yeah, something like that.
It's just that's great. She's so talented with that, man.
I don't know how many cosplays she's done so far.
Oh,
hundreds.
It's a ton. I forget. She said the number when she was on the show, and I forget, but it's a lot. It's really up there. Man, oh man. All right, everybody, go check out Smokes the Fox and Weaponized Werewolf. Maybe you could be backer 200. Check it out. The link is in the description of the show. I've also got the link for Justin's YouTube on the description of the show as well. And aside from that, go check out King Cryptid and all the alternate campaigns too. We are 10 backers away from 300 on King Cryptid. It's day 6 on the King Cryptid campaign. We hit our goal yesterday, so thank you guys so much for that. Really appreciate it. And Justin, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great talking to you for the hour and picking your brain about everything you've been doing the past couple of years with your comics and your company, and I wish you all the best.
Yeah, sorry for swearing.
Oh, you got the one out of the way, and then you were golden the rest of it. So there you go.
But I did it.
Everybody, take it easy. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Mighty Joe says paper mache and velour. Wow. Great stuff with that.
Incredible.
On mache cosplay for Smokes. Everybody have a wonderful night. I'm going to be back again tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern with Ethan Van Sciver. We'll talk about Cyberfrog, among other things as well. And next week I got a whole bunch of guests too, from Tuesday to I believe Saturday or Sunday. I got to check the schedule again, but we'll be back. On Sunday, I'm going to be somewhere else. I'm going to be on another show doing something over there, so I won't be here. But tune in for the show tomorrow with Ethan. We'll be covering all kinds of different stuff. Everybody have a great night. And Justin, again, thank you so much, man, for joining me tonight. It was a pleasure having you on. And all the best with Smokes the Fox and Weaponized Werewolf. I hope you get that backer 200. I mean, you will, but I hope you get it soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
And everybody have a great night, and see you guys tomorrow.